With the release of One Piece Chapter 1083, all anybody wants to talk about right now is the Holy Knight silhouettes, because the silhouette in the center of the group of Holy Knights happens to look an awful lot like Shanks. And we decided that since Oda very clearly wants us to focus and speculate on who this silhouette belongs to...
At least he got what he wanted.
He did get what he wanted, because we've all been doing that. We decided to post a poll over on the community tab asking you guys who you believe the silhouette belongs to. And the options for this poll were as follows. A. Shanks is evil and this is actually Shanks. B. It's a clone of Shanks, possibly made by Vegapunk, being used to do the world government's highest biddings because Shanks is strong. Option C. It's a silhouette to mislead us. It's like Big Mom and Kaido's silhouettes. It has nothing to do with the situation at hand regarding Shanks. In fact, this is more likely to be Gin with a cutlass. Or option D. Ria's Gremory, Shanks' mother. The option you guys chose was option D. Democracy rules, it's Ria's Gremory, Shanks' mother. You guys picked the mommy milkers, and we applaud you for that. We salute you. You are people of culture, and because of this, we are going to honor Ria's Gremory, if you guys want us to, by dyeing her hair red. So if you guys want her to dye her hair red, then go over on the community tab, and 24 hours after this video is posted, the poll will close, and you guys can decide if she should dye her hair red to honor Shanks' big mommy milker mommy. Now, enough about Shanks' mommy milker mommy. Let's go ahead and get into the actual meat of this video. She's over here dying. Let's go ahead and get into the actual meat of this video. The real reason we are making this right now has nothing to do with the silhouette. In fact, that's just something we wanted to address. The real reason we're making this video is because there's something a lot more important, more valuable to the story as a whole than that silhouette that we need to address, and that actually happened in Chapter 1082, and people are overlooking this. The fact that Buggy was actually able to pay out marine bounties. That's right, when Vice Admiral T-Bone's corpse was turned in, they were able to give the money out that was necessary to give the bounties they claimed they were going to give. So, where's Buggy getting the money? Well, we're going to get into that, and we're going to get into why they shouldn't have that money. But before we do, my name is Richard, this is my wife Claire.
Hello.
And if you're new to the channel, we welcome you. Let's go ahead and hop right into why Cross Guild isn't who you think they are. And the leader isn't actually Buggy. It's somebody else, and it's a secret you will never guess. Now, the reason we want to start with this is because back when Cross Guild was first formed, Crocodile actually had to save Buggy and his crew of merry misfits from Vice Admiral, whoever, I can't remember his name is, who was trying to take him out with a fleet of Marines. And, well, that's what Crocodile did. Crocodile came in and saved him, but it wasn't out of the goodness of his heart and because he loves and is so loyal to Captain Buggy. No, it was because he needed to collect the loan. Crocodile was being debt collector. That's what he was doing. He's a mob boss. He's a mafioso. He wanted to come in and collect his money. Yeah, he's a loan shark. And Crocodile did not collect his money because Buggy didn't freaking have it because Buggy invested that money into Buggy's delivery service, and Buggy's delivery service was a company that ultimately failed, especially...
It didn't make a profit.
It didn't make a profit, and when the warlords dissolved, the company dissolved. So Buggy lost his immunity to run this assassination service. Crocodile didn't have the money to start Cross Guild. That's why he had to go after Buggy for the loan in the first place, because Cross Guild is a very expensive idea. But what if it isn't? What if Crocodile really did have a way to make money? What if Crocodile just wanted this money from Buggy so that he could use it to further other sections of Cross Guild? I'm going to get into that, because you need to understand how there is a chance Cross Guild can make money. Because think of it this way. The Celestial Dragons that pay out bounties, or the world government as a whole, they print the money. They have almost all of the money. There are starving nations while the world government eats pretty. The Celestial Dragons eat the finest of food while people are starving and willing to kill Vice Admiral T-Bone of all people for a bounty of a few 100 million berries. That is important to understand because Cross Guild, they don't have that, and Mihawk definitely doesn't have it. I mean, have you seen this man's bathroom?
He doesn't have a bathtub. He doesn't have a sink. How does he wash his hands?
That's disgusting. I don't know, but apparently he doesn't. He doesn't even shower, I guess, because the bathroom is empty. Mihawk's toilet is connected to nothing. It's just in the middle on the floor on a carpet.
Is there even a tank?
I don't know. This is a picture of Mihawk's bathroom. There probably is a tank. I don't remember. Regardless, it's just a lone toilet, and I hope you don't ever take a crap in there, because if you do, you probably ain't wiping your butt. So you'll be stuck there looking for Mihawk to bring you toilet paper, and it's funny, because instead he just throws you a knife and tells you just shave it off your ass. Okay, no, enough about that. Okay, that's kind of gross. But still, the point is, Mihawk is a squatter in an old rundown castle, and he doesn't have the money to fund Cross Guild. Neither does Crocodile, neither does Buggy. Crocodile was in Impel Down 2 years ago, and when he got out, he had nothing to his name, and when he got back to where he is now and got his bounty up to almost 2 billion, yeah, he's probably done some stuff, but he hasn't done anything to make the massive amounts of wealth, it seems, to run something like Cross Guild. So somebody has to be behind the scenes here. Who could that person be? They have to be making money somehow. Well, they are making money. In fact, I'm going to explain how it's very possible that Cross Guild could be making money and who would be willing to pay. First of all, it's possible that when they collect these marine bounties, or these marine bodies, and hand out the marine bounties, they're actually making a profit. Cross Guild isn't just throwing money at this and then, losing and bleeding it dry. They're actually making money from this, because they're taking these bodies, handing them off to another third party that actually does have the money to pay out these bounties, and is able to rival the world government in terms of financial power, but doesn't want to be seen by the rest of the world just yet. They want to stay low. And I know exactly who this could be. But first we need to go over who it isn't. Because what's happening is Buggy's likely taking these bodies, or Crocodile is, handing them over to this third party. Say that the bounty on the body was 500 million. Say it was Kobe, because Blackbeard wanted to hand Kobe's body over, so it's clearly not Blackbeard. We can immediately rule him out. But say Blackbeard handed Kobe's body over to Cross Guild. Cross Guild pays Blackbeard the 500 million, but first they take the body and hand it over to the other third-party company / organization / pirate crew that does have the money, that has the motive to do this, and they collect 700 million or 600 million, and then they take the money off the top, the 100 or 200 million, they collect that, it goes in their pockets for doing nothing, Blackbeard gets his payout for the body, and everybody's happy. However, they would need a person, an organization that would be able to not only back them up, but also pay them out financially for the bodies, that would also have a motive for collecting these bodies and wanting to cripple the world government. And I know exactly who that is, but let's discuss who it certainly isn't. First of all, we know it's not Blackbeard, because Blackbeard quite literally said that he wanted to turn Kobe into Cross Guild to collect the money, so he's off the table. Luffy, we follow his story intently, so it's definitely not Luffy, we can forget that.
He's just not that kind of guy.
He wouldn't. And then option C is Shanks. And Shanks, well, his pirate organization doesn't seem interested in pursuing stuff like this, and I doubt Buggy would even be okay with working with him anyway. Plus, we have no idea if Shanks would actually have the money to pay out something like this, or why he would even want to yet until we get more information on Shanks and he becomes a little less of a mystery. I'm not going to include him as an option, because so far, he's still been sort of presented to us as a peace main or a good pirate, and until otherwise proven, we cannot say that Shanks is behind this. But there is a pirate who does have the motive, the manpower, the money, and the hiddenness, or I guess you could say underground stealthiness. Secrecy, yeah. Who would have the motives to stay secret for over 20 years. Somebody who was at his heyday 20 years ago before he was thrown into Impel Down for 2 years. So 22 years ago he was at his heyday. I guess I can't do math. But ultimately, that pirate would be Golden Lion Shiki. That's right, the Golden Lion, the man who is able to scrap with Garp and Sengoku at the same time in their prime and destroy half a marine fort in the process. That Shiki. The man who was really scaring Roger with his armada, and the only reason that Roger lived when Roger declined Shiki's offer to help work with him once Roger had obtained an ancient weapon was because Shiki got hit, unluckily, by a storm. You see, Shiki has had some bad luck, but he's not the type of guy who would simply do things without calculating plans. Even Whitebeard knew that. But what Shiki is patient, and what he's done for the past 20 years since he broke out of Impel Down after chopping off his own feet and escaping, well, what he's done is set up a plan. He's been biding his time, probably gathering the wealth, rebuilding his armada, making it grander and bigger than ever before, but staying low the entire time, out of the radar of the world government. And ultimately, Shiki has had the same dream for 20 years, because this plan was actually meant to help Shiki take over the world. That's right, Shiki is going to be this generation's Rox de Quebec. You may think, well, Blackbeard's carrying on Rox's will. Well, yes, he is. I'm not saying that Blackbeard isn't, but I'm also saying that Blackbeard and Shiki could both be carrying on the will. You need to remember that Shiki was a member on Rox's crew, and since then, Rox's will has still been living on through Shiki the entire time. He's been wanting to take over the entire world, and it's honestly just more competition for Blackbeard. But his ultimate goal was to dismantle the world government and throw the entire sea of pirates into dismay. He wanted to flip the entire pirate era on its head, and if he were to be doing this, this would be a perfect stage 1 plan, because Shiki would have had 20 years to gather the wealth necessary, and ultimately Shiki, being who he is, probably did gather the wealth necessary, and he could easily fund Cross Guild so Cross Guild could make money. At the same time, Shiki would be being helped by taking the world government down piece by piece. The world government's army would be essentially getting slowly dismantled by the population, giving Shiki a massive army to work with when he goes to try to take down the world government, and ultimately Shiki would then be a powerhouse that could back Buggy up more than just Mihawk, because as Mihawk said himself, how is Mihawk on his own, because technically Mihawk would pretty much be the one-man army here, going to handle all 3 of the other Yonkos? The 3 other Yonkos are also extremely strong. Mihawk may be the world's strongest swordsman, but numbers don't lie, and the numbers are pretty much against Mihawk in this scenario. The odds of him taking all of them down and going up against entire Yonko crews by himself and winning are probably not that great. Even he knows that.
And that's to say he would even want to fight Shanks in the first place.
Exactly. And he wasn't interested in that. He was more interested in helping Crocodile form the Utopia. But now that Buggy has essentially sent them on a quest for the One Piece, well, this would allow them to fund their quest for the One Piece and also keep them in business while furthering Shiki's agenda. So I think that ultimately Golden Lion Shiki is the answer here. He is the one that's truly behind Cross Guild, and he's the one that's actually paying out the money. And we're gonna find this out later in the story. Shiki's gonna come forward, and we're gonna see that Shiki was behind Cross Guild all along, and he is gunning for the throne that Emu sits on. If you guys enjoyed this video, maybe consider watching another video popping up on screen right now. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, and we'll see you guys again in the next video. Peace.
Bye.